Pleasure doing business.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of Bloore and Mandalore. That explosion blew me back to one of the original spots we went to at Bull's Head. But look, the difference is, guys, we're on a rock. So, look, I found this spot. I don't know if you guys have been liking the new sets, but I'm honestly kind of enjoying just randomly walking around and just plopping my shit somewhere and just like talking to a camera while heaps of people walk past and judge me until they hear I'm talking about Star Wars, and especially hearing about the top 10 lightsabers. Guys, look, this is one of the most it's one of the most difficult questions to talk about, well, subjects to talk about, because it is so subjective. The lightsabers in itself are very subjective. You know, you like a look, you like a style, but that style's not going to translate to another person very well. So what I've done is I've separated my lightsaber categorizing into 3 different stages, all right? Now, all of these equal to a total of 30 points. Now, you've probably seen here, oh my God, Jeremy, what the hell? Oh, I just dropped my pen. Oh my God, Jeremy, what the hell? You have really been putting in work for this episode, and I say yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for those people. Comment down below, big baloney balls. Look, I've got 3 different categories, all right? I've got design, function, and uniqueness, okay? Look, design is, how anybody sees it. For me personally, this is how it looks. It's not really how it acts, and how it works with it. That would be more function. Design is kind of like, it's based on the era, all of the time around it, what kind of switches they put on, just in general, the look of the lightsaber. You get to the function. How does it swing? How does it move? Depending on the form of the character. How is it going to work well with their style, all that kind of stuff. Now, generally, a lot of the lightsabers that we're going to see today are, they're all built around a certain character's style of fighting, and you'd hope that because it's their individual lightsabers. But there are some of them, like the one that I'm holding today, the Darksaber, that actually, it's not specifically designed for one person. It is just the ruler of Mandalore. Yes, okay, sure. Originally Tar Vizsula's lightsaber. Now, the Darksaber is on my list. But it's not going to affect any of these categories. I've scaled it, I think actually a little harsher than the others because, of how much I use it. But then the last one, we have uniqueness. Now, uniqueness is kind of again, it's hard because it's a bit subjective. Like all of the kind of stuff that you see, you're going to be like, this character has it and this character has it. So, technically it's not really that unique, but also you got to see, I'm looking at it kind of like a fourth wall perspective. It's not necessarily just from the universe itself, obviously because there have been cross-guard stances in the High Republic and, even earlier that Kylo Ren is just kind of copying, but they weren't really created until, they weren't really mainstream until Kylo Ren was using it. Look, so uniqueness is kind of a little bit up in the air, but like all of this. So, guys, look, this is the Bloore on Mandalore definitive list of my top 10 lightsabers, okay? It's honestly, it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster, and a lot of the stuff, it's probably going to be easy to tell which ones I like, but, again, just a reminder, it's out of 30. That's 10 points per category leading up to the end. Now, one could score 10 in one category in uniqueness, but it could also be a 1 in design. I've been harsher than what I think I should, but again, this is the top sabers. This is not every single saber. So, look, guys, let's get to it. What I'm going to do, and this is in no particular order, okay? I've got all of these ranked here in no order. Basically, I'll go through why I gave it the ranking and then kind of the final score. I'll give the official ranking from 10 to 1. I don't have any bonus lightsabers in this one because, I was really, really picky when it came to my actual 10. And then it kind of got towards the end and I was like, look, I could do a couple of bonus ones. Like, I can tell you, Yoda's not on this one. I like it because it's smaller and it fits his hand, and it's like, oh, little baby lightsaber. That's my baby Yoda talk. Oh, it's Grogu, it's Grogu. But yeah, no, like, I mean, yeah, you can see stuff like that on other shit, and you're like, yeah, okay, that's cool, and I like it. But, it's not really that special. It's just small because it's in his hand. Like, I want to do just 10, all right? So stick with me, people. Stick with me. Let's see if we enjoy it. For any of you guys out there who have been watching from the start, I just want to quickly shout out so many people that I love from the bottom of my heart. First of all, I mean, look, it has to go to Star Wars Nerd 00. You have been, God damn it, man, you have been there from day dot. Actually, not day dot, but pretty much day dot, like the first couple of episodes. I mean, I was, for any of you who don't know, I was actually friends on Instagram with Star Wars Nerd 00. We made friends in a Beyond the Dune Sea comment section, and then I announced on my private Instagram, I was like, hey, by the way, I'm making a Star Wars podcast, who's keen on it? And he was like, oh yeah, cool, that's fucking sick. Fuck yeah, cunt. He doesn't use cunt, because cunt is a little different in America. But, I mean, here, cunt, I would actually say cunt over mate. That's going to be a long story. Anyways, he's been a really good dude. He's been so supportive the whole time, and he's actually got multiple channels. He's got Tales from Peridia, Star Wars Nerd 00, and he's also doing like a bunch of different podcasty stuff with a bunch of really cool creators. But he's been such an awesome guy the whole time, like really helpful, really, really kind, and just kind of allowing me to be a little more creative. You're a good dude. Luke Lutzer, he put some of the most amazing comments down there on my Instagram, and sorry, not my Instagram, on my YouTube. Being just a genuine bloke. Like, you seriously, hats off to you for actually just like kind of giving me a lot of motivation. But I mean, look, you can say the big account, Star Wars Sith 66, just hit 20,000 subscribers. Amazing. Like, what the fuck balls? Congrats to you, brother. And he's been supporting me, guys. If you aren't seeing Star Wars Sith 66, which if you see my account, you see him. But if you have not seen him, turn this off. Go onto his channel. The best Star Wars YouTuber. But then we get on to the best podcaster and probably the best people on this whole fucking universe. It's Beyond the Dune Sea. Beyond the Dune Sea, you guys are so incredible. You are so amazing. Connor, Seth, I love you. But Connor, you're the man. You're the man. I love you so much. Guys, okay. Look, we're probably getting into it too much. But X-Men, 97 socks. Okay, look, let's get into the actual ranking. Sorry, I had to be, I have to give my thanks to the people that give me motivation to continue making all of these things and kind of drag me out to these cool areas. paint me like your French girls. Don't look at my bum. Okay. So, first of all, we have the Darksaber, the one that is in my hand. Guys, look, I'm not ranking this based off of what I feel like with the Hasbro Force FX lightsaber that I've got here. But I can tell you, just from holding it, just from using it, there are some downsides. I've also looked at multiple bits of footage of every single one of these lightsabers, and I can tell you, brother, the Darksaber, I mean, its function's just shit. Okay, so let's go design. I'm going to say, design 8 out of 10. Now, made out of Beskar alloy. I mean, it's also original Beskar. Like, it's not fucking watered down. This shit, even the armor, when she saw it, was like, I've never seen anything of this quality Beskar-wise, like, ever. This has to be... look, there's a helicopter. This has to be one of the oldest pieces of Beskar ever. And it's because it was from the very first Mandalorian Jedi. Now, this saber itself is super, super beautiful design-wise. I love... Majority of these points came from the fact that this is a katana style, like Japanese, samurai. I mean, obviously, we know that George Lucas was inspired heavily by Japanese movies, westerns, and also just like sci-fi in general. I mean, that's why it's fucking like a samurai film, cowboy in space. But like this itself is just purely I mean, it's just driven from all of his kind of influences, which I absolutely love. I mean, the design of the straight lines is something that I would personally change. I mean, it's very Mandalorian-esque, but it just doesn't have that flair. It's all black. It's very like black and white, like a soldier would be. This is a soldier's saber / katana. Even the blade itself is shaped like a katana. Absolutely love it. I'm going to give that design an 8 out of 10, okay? Function-wise, guys, look, I talked about it before. I'm going to give that actually a 6 out of 10. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. You know what I mean? Like, you can't spin this as easy, but you can have those big, hard-hitting, like, the big, hard-hitting strikes, I guess. Like, I'd want to... Here, let me just take this off so you can kind of see. Like, when you're... Like, you can... Poof. Whereas the other one, other ones when they're more round, you can see this is more of an oval shape. Other ones that are more round, you can kind of do the Obi Annie spin. This one, it's not impossible, but it's pretty fucking hard to. Look, and then uniqueness, okay? Uniqueness, I mean, this is a 10 out of 10. It has to be. It has to be a 10 out of 10. I mean, you've got the very first and original Mandalorian Jedi creating this beautiful saber, locked up in the Jedi archives for so long, only to just be torn out of the Jedi archives by Vizsla clan. I mean, his descendants ripped this out of a Jedi's hands. Absolutely love it. I mean, Beskar in itself, it's just like, come on. I mean, it's the coolest fucking metal in all of Star Wars. Like, there's just no competition. So overall, that actually ranks it a 24 out of 30. One of the lowest. It's just the function. The function drags it down so much. Like, if this was a better functioning lightsaber itself, then yeah, it would be much higher. But this is less of a duelist saber, less of a Jedi saber. It's more of it's more of an everyday soldier saber. Next one we have, and remember, this is in no particular order, my favorite lightsaber. My favorite lightsaber in all of Star Wars. It's Cal Kestis' saber. Now, we originally saw it in Fallen Order, and then we could kind of see it a little more in Jedi Survivor. So many really expensive boats going around here. It makes me feel really bad about my bank account. So we see it in Jedi Fallen Order. It's really cool because you can kind of like, basically it breaks in half. And then he can just like twist it up and take it off and then use it as a twin saber. Kind of like when you saw, for those of you who even watched the end of The Acolyte, I did, but that's how I know. But anyways, you see when bloody Khmer is using his little dagger, how he like twists it off, and it's pretty much the exact same thing. I love it. You can customize all of the blade colors and so on. But in lore-wise, it's blue. One of the most iconic sabers. Personally, design, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 because the fucking top of it, the emitter, that's what it's called, the emitter. Oh my. So, that's Jaro Tapal's with a little bit of Sia Junda's, both of his masters. But Jaro Tapal's lightsaber in itself was just gorgeous. It was a double-ended lightsaber, obviously broken off, which later Cal Kestis fixed. But just that emitter is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, one of a kind. You'll never see anything else like it. Function-wise, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Like, so movable. So fast, like you can actually duel many people at one time. You see it throughout the game. All I'd say is that it is smaller. So it's kind of like, if Ahsoka... I didn't put Ahsoka's blades in here, by the way, because, it's 2. So I didn't really want to. I wanted to talk about one singular saber. And it's hard to just separate one of Ahsoka's blades. But, you could kind of see it similar to Ahsoka's Shoto blades, which is like one bigger, one smaller. It just doesn't have the same functionality, which is the only reason why it dropped down in points. Super functional, but it just loses that little bit because there's not 2 full blades. You get me? It's kind of like, you're sacrificing a little to get a lot. And then uniqueness, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10 because the majority of it is not really unique. It's just that emitter, that beautiful, beautiful emitter. Like literally, if any saber company sees this kind of video and wants to sponsor me because of and give me a Cal Kestis saber, guys, I'll love you forever. I'll love you forever. And I'll put that discount code in my in my bio. no, no, seriously, you don't have to do that. But I really do I love so many of these custom sabers that have been coming out. The Cal Kestis ones, they're just so expensive. They're so expensive. Mainly because they look sexy. Now, all of his scores, that goes to 25 out of 30. So a little bit higher than the Darksaber, personally. Yes, I went a little harder on this one. But it's functionality. It makes it so much better. Kanan Jarrus. Now, this is an interesting one because, I mean, design-wise, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. No real need for too much more. I like the coloring scheme, which is the only reason why it got higher. Obviously, it's a very sleek, beautiful saber. It looks more like a rapier, like a thrusting sword. But, you know, I mean, it doesn't bode well in design compared to what it is in function. 10 out of 10. I give this a 10 out of 10 because in universe, I mean, it was at a point where they're all hiding from stormtroopers. They're hiding from the Empire. You can't show openly that you are you're a Jedi. I mean, nobody knew. Anyone around him, like, obviously the people on the Ghost knew, like all of the Ghost crew, but anyone else was like, what the fuck, he's a Jedi? Like, to be able to break off that emitter and kind of like separate it, absolutely love. Special mention a little bit to Ezra Bridger's lightsaber. I mean, is it Ezra Bridger? Yeah, Ezra Bridger. Oh my god. I was thinking Ezra Miller. I was like, no, not the guy who fucking, like, abused women and went to jail. Anyways, no, like, Kanan, I mean, Ezra, that's an abomination of a lightsaber. I don't like that. And uniqueness, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 because in general, I mean, the only thing that gives it that 8, I'm not even kidding, the only thing that gives it that 8 is that you can kind of break it off into 2. I mean, that's as unique as it comes. The rest of it would just be a normal saber. Like, it's got obviously that, like, beautiful kind of thrusting sword style top, but that kind of leaves it at the end at 25. Look, a lot of these I have had to kind of like, they've gotten a lot of the same score, if I'm going to be honest. Not really. I have actually adjusted it in the end, and I'll give reasons why. Next one, Gungi. Now, Gungi is a really, really cool character. First ever Wookiee Jedi that we got to see, not in live action, but kind of in the movies and TV shows. He is a small, he's like a Jedi trainee Wookiee. Really cool. He used the bark of the Warshear tree, which is like as hard as metal. Design-wise, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, mainly because it literally just looks like a piece of bark. Function, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. I mean, it works the exact same as every other saber. All I'd say is that it's, I mean, probably easier to come across if you're on, I mean, this is literally the only reason why I put it up more. It's probably easier to come across the materials to be able to fix it and so on compared to other sabers, only if you're on Kashyyyk. But I mean, it's a fucking Wookiee, so obviously I'm going to base it based on what he can have access to. But uniqueness, I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Look, sadly, the design, it kind of does drag it down. I love the look of it. This is the thing. Don't kind of drag me in the comments for this. It's my top 10. I mean, this is literally the top 10 lightsabers. But, I mean, if we're going to get all nitpicky and going to see which one gets kind of what spot, yeah, I'm going to give that uniqueness 10 out of 10. Like, material-wise, I mean, Wookiee itself, like a Wookiee Jedi having something of its home country, amazing, beautiful, super unique, super incredible, absolutely love it. But that finishes off with a 24 out of 30. That is the exact same as the Darksaber. I keep dropping my pen. I don't know why I do that. Next one, we have Darth Maul. Now, this one might shock you guys. Please don't flame me. Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters. If you watch one of my other tier lists, like the top 10 characters, you'll see Darth Maul is by far in my top 3. Like, I fucking love him so much. Design-wise, lightsaber, I mean, 7 out of 10. It's really cool. I only give it the points because it's like the first time we get to see a double-bladed lightsaber. Everyone's like, like, so fucking cool. So fucking cool. But design-wise, I mean, it's just a metal rod with a couple of red switches. It's not that cool. Like, I'd definitely say Kanan's, I mean, I put Kanan's pretty much the same, but like, Kanan's wise, I mean, looks 10 times better. It's just, It's pretty basic. Both of them are really basic. I'm only giving it more points because it's the first time we got to see a double-bladed lightsaber in the movies, and everyone was like so happy, so excited about it. Function, I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. Now, I'll only give it a 6 out of 10 for one specific fucking reason, man. All right? Now, this is when he took over Mandalore, and he was fighting Ahsoka I talked about this in a previous episode, their fight. Like, it was incredible. But, like, when he goes, dish, dish, and he's, like, fighting all that kind of stuff, and he goes to attack, and then, I mean, it's so long, and he doesn't have big hands, you know? Like, you can see Jaro Tapal, he's got big hands, and he goes, dish, dish, and he can hold it, and it covers most of the saber. Well, I mean, the hilt. But, I mean, Darth Maul, he has regular human hands. It had so much space that Ahsoka could grab it and then use it against him. So, I mean, function-wise, that dropped down to a 6 out of 10. That's literally the only reason. The only reason is because of that one scene. I mean, like, call me harsh, but if you're fucking using a lightsaber and someone can just grab it and then turn it against you, I mean, so easily. She was a Padawan at this point. She hadn't really touched a lightsaber for so long. Like, I mean, it's pretty shit. So I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. Uniqueness, 7 out of 10. Not that special. Not that special. It's a metal rod. I mean, a lot of the prequel era stuff are just basically metal rods, to be fair. But, like, yeah, I mean, that ended up the lowest score. 20 out of 30. 20 out of 30. That's still amazing. Like, compared to so many other sabers, like, fuck. What would you put Yoda's lightsaber as? It just looks like a shit version of Vader's, but smaller. Okay, next one. This one is one of the most gorgeous sabers ever. It's Count Dooku's. Now, this is the curved hilt. Oh my god. Like, design-wise, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, easy. Gorgeous, sleek, and I mean, you see a different version of the exact same one when he was in Tales of the Jedi, and it was blue. Just gorgeous. Works for his whole style perfectly. Even on the emitter, when it's got those long bars of metal that kind of go out and guide the saber blade. Oh man, that's like gorgeous. Function, 10 out of 10. His form is very much like an offensive duelist. It's kind of like fencing. I mean, like Christopher Lee, he was an Olympic fencer. So you can see that same style. Him like, and I mean, if any of you guys have played the game, game Battlefront 2, the 2017 one, like, you put him in a duel against anyone, he's clapping cheeks. So 10 out of 10 on that one. Uniqueness, 8 out of 10. Mainly because there are a couple that I like his one. You know, like Asajj, obviously his Padawan, blah, 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 blah. It's not as unique. It's not as unique as a lightsaber itself. It's just curved. You know, it's just curved. That leaves him at 27 out of 30. Very, very high up. Very, very high up. This next one's a very specific one, okay? This is Kit Fisto's from the 2D Clone Wars. Design-wise, 6 out of 10. It's literally a metal rod. I've put every single one of them up next to me, but, like, it's literally a metal rod. It's got, like, little fucking rings at the bottom. So what? I mean, it's this, but just silver. Looks like shit. At least this is, like, 2 levels of black and, you know, grey. 6 out of 10 for that. But this is where it makes up. Function, 10 out of 10. It was the very first saber that was able to use a double-walled blade, okay? So he was one of the first people to ever find the kind of connector piece that you could adjust the lightsaber and do a dual-walled, where you split the crystal, and you've done like an outside and an inside, and then it means you can use it underwater. That's why you'll see in the one how he's got the fucking wavy blade. I fuck with that, man. I fuck with that so hard. That one and Anakin's lightsaber when he's like in the 2D Clone Wars. I should go into this. I mean, in fear of trying to, of potentially copying Beyond the Dune Sea, I probably might not. You should definitely check their one out, if I'm honest. Their one is like, they've done a 2-parter. They separated over 2 weeks. It was fucking incredible. But yeah, no. So like you see it in that, and Anakin had his like, tsh, and then it would like all the raindrops were just like sizzling on the blade. Holy shit, fuck. Yeah, so Kit Fisto's, I mean, function 10 out of 10. Uniqueness 10 out of 10 as well. I mean, it's the very first one. He was the one that was able to kind of help other people create a saber that was similar. He being an aquatic being and able to use your lightsaber underwater is just like, it's next level. It's so unique. That finishes him off with a 26 out of 30. If he just had a better design, man, I mean, like, yeah, it's easy to be like, oh, well, what about his design of the one in Revenge of the Sith? No, I'm looking at that specific one because that's the one I liked. Yeah, so you can shut up. So that's 26 out of 30. Next one, Balin Skull. Balin Skull, 8 out of fucking 10, baby. That design is gorgeous. It's like a claymore. Big, heavy, great sword. You know what I mean? Gorgeous, absolutely love it. It's a longer blade, which I really like because you can do kind of heavier swings. That goes towards the more function part, but design wise it's just gorgeous. Like, obviously they've put extra time into creating all of the characters in Ahsoka, and the lightsaber is one of the most important parts of that. Function 9 out of 10. It fits his form perfectly. Large, strong swings that are able to just demolish any defense of any character that goes up against him. Like Ahsoka, when he goes out and she's just like blocking the blades, and he's like doosh, doosh, like you can feel it. You can feel the impact from behind the screen. It's just big, large, heavy, great sword. Just doosh, doosh. Love that. 9 out of 10. Uniqueness, 9 out of 10 as well. I mean, mainly because of the one comment. Oh my god, I forgot his name. The lightsaber droid. Oh, you guys are gonna flame me. I'm gonna put it next to me. But I'm gonna get back to you. Oh man, that sucks. I hate that. Anyways, I mean, he just said, well, you know, I only remember one person who made a blade like this, and it was, you know, years ago. Ooh, it was a longer blade. It was cool. I'm gonna fucking kill myself for not getting that. Oh man, I'm so annoyed. Anyways, 26 out of 30 for that one. Final two for the sequels. We've actually, whoa, got the Indiana Jones water plane going ahead of us. Very fitting for our intro. It's kind of cool, actually. Kylo Ren, okay, design 10 out of 10. I fucking love that. The full black blade with the crossguard stance, and then you've got the oh man, you've got all of the open wires and cracked. Looks fucking incredible. Function wise, 7 out of 10. It drops down because the crossguard isn't the most effective blade. You know, like having the two. I love that they made it the vents. You know what I mean? It wasn't just stupidity being like, I just want to design a blade that goes out like, you know, like it was a legitimate. This is an exhaust vent because I've cracked the crystal and it's just overloaded with all of my special Sith juice. Yeah, no, like function-wise, the crossguard isn't a very strong stance. Like it is strong hitting, but it's not a very good stance where you could easily skill-wise outmatch him. Uniqueness 8 out of 10, only because we've seen crossguards throughout the whole comics and everything like that. It's not very new, but it is gorgeous. Like everything to do with the cracked crystal and the exhaust vents, that's what brings it up to an 8 out of 10. The last one being Sith Rey. Okay, Sith Rey. Basically, we see in the remnants of. I mean, I don't know how they got to the remnants of the Death Star when it blew up like that. Yeah, don't know. But I mean, look. Put all of the fucking hate for the sequels aside, design-wise, that's a 10 out of 10. Easy 10 out of 10. Easy. Don't even fucking question it. 10 out of 10. The Switchblade was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Love the dark features on it. Like, I mean, specks of grey, enough to be like, look, you've had the past of a Jedi, but this is you now. Absolutely love that. No doubt in my mind, one of the coolest looking sabers Okay, yeah, I know, Switchback, Ray, sure, okay, maybe it's not going to be your favorite, but for me personally, function-wise, 8 out of 10, mainly because Switchblade stuff, it's not as strong as a dual saber like Darth Maul's saber, but I mean it's a faster moving, faster acting. You can kind of like obviously flick it up and then two sabers two blades bending down on one. It's pretty strong. Uniqueness 7 out of 10. We've seen switchblades all throughout Star Wars history. Be that in by the Temple Guards, by like any of the High Republic, like a bunch of really cool comic book stuff. But guys, let's go on to the overall ranking. Now, I mean, official ranking. Oh wait, shit! I forgot to say the overall score. I think I forgot to say it for Kylo. Both Kylo and Rey, they got 25. Now, I'm not talking about her new one. Her new one's, shit. But that Sith Rey one was fucking cool. It was fucking cool. Okay, the official ranking out of 10. Let's start. Bottom is Darth Maul. Don't fucking come at me. He's one of my favorite characters, but his lightsaber just isn't really. I mean, aside from the wow factor of it being the first time we got to see it. Yeah, 9, Gunji. Understandable. He's not the best, not the worst. Next is Darksaber. Its uniqueness kind of pulls it up more. You know what I mean? 7, Kanan Jarrus. Absolutely love that you have that functionality of taking the one off to hide that you're a Jedi. For the time that it was in, absolutely needed. 6 is Sith Rey. I know we just talked about it. Absolutely love it. But not as much as Kylo Ren, which is number 5. That is so cool. Got these helicopters coming over. That's gonna be Jack. That's gonna be Jack. Jack Mustin, like one of my best mates. Love you to bits, bro. If you're watching this, love you to bits. Number 4 is Cal Kestis. Again, that emitter. It's gorgeous. It's my favorite saber, personally. Number 3, Baylan Skoll. That great sword style, large hitting works perfectly for him. It's what trumps him to kind of gets him up to number 3. Number 2, Kit Fisto. Fucking incredible. Love the lore. Love everything to do with that. The only downside, which would have put it at number 1, was the design. Okay, I mean, remember, this is the 2D Clone Wars one. But like the only thing that brought it down was the design. Next one, Count fucking Dooku. Count Dooku takes number 1 place. I mean, out of all the lightsabers in all of Star Wars, for functionality, look, and uniqueness, you've just got everything wrapped into one of the most beautiful sabers, well deserving of such an incredible actor, such an incredible character, of such a brilliant time, and honestly, peak Star Wars time. But guys, I put out on my Instagram, I put it out usually, before I film, like a day before I film. Usually it's like Wednesdays, like Tuesdays, Wednesdays. So I've got the fan reactions. Basically, I just asked everyone on there, I was like, hey guys, what's your fucking favorite saber, bitches? I didn't actually, you guys aren't bitches, but you probably get bitches. And if you don't get bitches, you get dudes. You get the dick. Okay, Darth Christensen 17. He said Anakin's from Attack of the Clones or Shin Hati from Ahsoka. I wanted to put Shin Hati's in there. Fucking, I know, it's so cool. It's so cool, but it just kind of dropped. And also, I didn't put the Chosen Ones in there because, yeah, this is the most controversial part. It's like, oh, what the hell? Why do you put your Anakin's in there? Because then it's like, it's Anakin's and it's Luke's and Vader's pretty much the same, but slightly darker features. And then it becomes Rey's, and it's like, I just don't want to fuck around with all of the drama with all that. It's actually not really my favorite design anyway. Sue me. Mariah Galanos said, the only purple one, I assume you're talking about Vanessa from The Acolyte. No. Mace Windu, thank you. I love you, Mariah, for commenting. Guys, you are amazing for I've had so many people fucking commenting down below and just like talking about what the hell they like. I appreciate even comments like, the only purple one. You don't know shit, bitch. But I can appreciate that you know Mace Windu. So, his saber's pretty cool. I don't want to get into the history of all that because I talked about it in the previous episode. But next one, my mum said yours. Well, obviously she means the Darksaber because it's super cool. And yeah, I don't blame you. We had a pretty funny story when I was moving my brother out of his apartment, and it was so funny. like I had my lightsaber there because I was traveling for a while, and I had my lightsaber at my brother's, and I picked it up, and you could hear, I was like, oh, Mum, can you just take this downstairs? You know, don't take too much of it. Like, we'll take all the heavy stuff. You know, two dudes, we'll just fucking poof. And anyways, and she was going down the staircase, and I was like, and you just, so she accidentally ignited it, and you hear this poof, 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 because it's got the clashing effect on the blade, so it's like poof, 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 and she kept on walking down the stairs, and I was like, Mum, you all right? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. And poof, 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 all the way down. It was really funny. Theo Harding said, Darth Maul's nothing better. I disagree, but I respect your comment. Thank you so much. I hope I didn't destroy the saber too much. I mean, I hope it definitely didn't destroy it for you if you're saying nothing's better. Patrick, my brother, Patrick Bloore, says Yoda or Luke's. I'm going to assume, I mean, obviously, he's my fucking twin. He's gargling mayonnaise from a Bolivian, to a Bolivian warlord right now, so he's probably like... I'm probably going to say Luke for him, because he loves Luke more. Yoda's a bit of a shit lightsaber. Jack Muston, brother, this guy needs a show in of himself. He says the Temple Guard saber. That's one of the ones that I was like, I really wanted to do. I really, really, really wanted to do. I really wanted to show off the Temple Guard saber. I am so glad you said that. That is one of the most... It's shaped like a pike, which is really cool. Now, pike is like basically a long spear, and it's... Oh, man. The Temple Guards were some of the most gorgeous... I mean, they weren't even Force users. They were just proficient with the blade. Brother needs to stop cooking so much. Tia Galanos says, yours... ... The Darksaber. Get your head out of the gutter. Mate, you can have my lightsaber anytime. And then finally we have Star Wars Nerd 00, the man himself, Anakin's Attack of the Clones, Kenobi's The Phantom Menace, and Luke, Return of the Jedi. Guys, look, Anakin's, you heard what I think. Kenobi's, I prefer his later, like Revenge of the Sith. And Luke's, I think Luke's out of all... I mean, obviously, it's the same fucking parts as Obi-Wan's, but I'd probably say out of all of those, Luke's would be my favorite, 100%. But the green blade is just, it's next level. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try to beat this rain that's coming on. I will talk to you in the next fucking episode, bitches. I love you all so fucking much. I don't think you realize how much I love you all. I will see you in the next episode. Enjoy, and I might be in some random place again. I mean, this is not really random because I've been here 3 times now, but I love it. I'll go somewhere else. I'll go to a cave somewhere. All right. I'm gonna go. My butt kind of hurts. All right. See you, bitches. Toodaloo.